Good day and welcome to the Herbert Dennard Show. We have with us a candidate, it's not official yet, I don't believe, but the candidate for mayor of Macon. Welcome, C. Jack Ellis.
Well, thank you very much. It is official. They can take that to the bank. We're running.
You're
We're
right.
off and running.
What would your platform be now?
Well, we have several things in the platform, Herbert, but the main thing is we must have a secure city, must have a safe city, and we've got to have jobs for the people. So therefore, crime, job creation, job training, and of course revitalizing the community, continue to take parts of the community that's been left behind and left out for so many years and continue to revitalize that, including our downtown, but the infrastructure that's under the ground as well. We've got to do something about that.
What about taxes?
Well, taxes, I don't see raising taxes to get done what we have to have done. Of course, cities and counties and other governmental entities survive on taxes. So I don't see us having to raise taxes in order to provide the level of services that we must provide.
What would you do about crime?
Well, I think the first thing you do, you have to do community-oriented policing. We had that with Rodney Monroe. Unfortunately, I think we've gotten away from it somewhat. You must engage the community. We can't be fearful of the young men and young women in our community. We must engage them where they are. And of course, it's a holistic approach. There's a lot of prevention things that we must do, but we have to enforce the law. The law must be enforced. People in the community must feel safe in their environment, in their home, walking the streets, especially our senior citizens. So we're going to address those problems head on.
What about the job situation? And I'm not trying to put you in the middle of a controversy or anything, but you have so many Mexicans here, and I love everybody. I love Mexicans.
I understand.
Everybody. But it seems like they're taking all the jobs.
Well, I think charity starts at home and spreads abroad. That's what Christianity teaches us. So we have to look out for our own. We must look out for the people in Macon. And I'm very discouraged. I was very discouraged with the hotel. I was very glad that we built the hotel. But I left a memorandum of understanding in place saying that we are going to hire local people, and not only to build it, but hire local contractors to hire local people to build it, especially women and minority-owned businesses. Unfortunately, the current administration saw fit not to follow through on that. So we had contractors coming from outside of the city, bringing workers from outside of the city to build one of the largest and the most expensive projects that we've had in a long time, $37 million. So I would definitely, when I'm talking to contractors, if they get city contracts, I think we have some sway. We have some say as to how those contracts are implemented. And I wouldn't hesitate one bit to say that unless you are going to hire local people, that you won't get a contract.
Yeah, but what I was saying earlier, and I agree with you, so many people come in this country that's doing work that black people and Macon and white people used to do here.
Yeah.
At one time, the contractors, Frank Emerson, Albert Billingsley, a lot of them had all that people, and they was working people here in Macon. But now it appears that a number of people come from south of the border, and they're working all those contracting jobs that we used to work. Is that because they will do the work and we won't do the work, or what do you think?
I don't think so. African Americans in particular have always had a strong work ethic. After all, we built this country.
Right.
We built this city. These brick streets you see around here, those were black men on their knees laying those bricks. So we have never shied away from work. We worked when we were working for free. We worked when we were being underpaid, and we're willing to work now. But we must have an opportunity. We must get training, and we must train people. We must get back to what Booker T. Washington said. We must cast down our buckets where we are, train young men and women how to do masonry, how to do carpentry work, and how to do the things that's needed to be done, cement finishing, painting, sheetrock, and things of that nature.
What about having a referendum back on to sales tax?
The splosh.
Splosh.
I think we have to have a splosh. We should always have a splosh in place because, after all, we all know that about 40% of that money is generated from people coming into our city. We know a lot of people have moved to Forsyth and Jones County and elsewhere, but we are still the commercial center of this region. So a splash was not going to hurt, and normally I would be against a sales tax because it's a regressive tax, hurts poor people a lot. But in this case, with so many people coming from outside, then we can use that money to do good for those people inside of the city, i.e. build recreation centers. I just left the Bellevue Improvement Association meeting, and they want to know why the Fillmore Thomas Recreation Center hasn't been built yet. We dedicated that park 2 years before I left office, a year and a half before I left office. Nothing has happened since. So with the SPLOST, we could do things like that.
Okay, so you would be in favor of putting one on?
I always would be in favor of having a SPLOST on, especially for, as long as it's for building infrastructure, be it roads, bridges, recreation centers, cultural centers, and things of that nature, sidewalks, bike paths, things that's going to benefit most, if not all, of the people in this community and improve the quality of life for most of us.
What about consolidation, a restructuring of government?
Well, I think we can call it consolidation. I know there are a couple plans out there. I haven't read either one of them in detail. I've read the summary of both. Both of them have some serious issues as far as I'm concerned. The one that was put forth by Senator Brown about the part I don't like there, and I'm sure we can get some movement there and change that, laying off the entire city and county government force. That just won't fly with me.
I don't think they said laying off. I think they said firing.
Well, firing, and that's even worse. That's even worse. You can't fire the entire workforce and then ask them to come and apply for their jobs back. That's not being very humane. That's not being very sensitive to the needs of working men and women in this community, as far as I'm concerned.
From what I understand, it's technically that they have benefits that the city and the county can't afford to pay anymore. So when they hire them back, they would come back with losing some of their health benefits and everything else, and they would have to pay a greater part of it.
I can understand that. I can understand having to pay it, but you don't have to fire people to do that. You restructure that. Just say, going forward, this is a new pension plan. This is a new plan for health care. You don't have to fire people to get there. Delta and Northwest merged 2 years ago. 25,000 people at Delta, 18,000 at Northwest. They didn't fire everybody. They came together and created a new pension plan. Northwest had a union even. They don't have a union. The new Delta doesn't have a union. So it's a way to get there without firing everyone and say, we'll hire you back. That doesn't wash with me, and I wouldn't support it. Matter of fact, I would work against that.